Hi, everyone. Michael Lazaroff here. I am the executive director and owner of Signature Cruise Experiences, which is producing David Foster, the Hitman cruise. And we're really excited to have all of you signed up for the cruise. It's going to be a terrific 5 days. We've been doing these kinds of cruises for a long time. 25 years, we've done over 100 full ship charters of all kinds of different music and events. And this is one of the few 5-day cruises that we are doing, but there is enough entertainment on this cruise to fill 7 days. So you all are in for a real treat. Interestingly, more than 80% of the guests on this cruise have never sailed with us before. I don't recall, except for maybe the very first cruise when it was 100% of the people had not sailed with us, a number that high. So I'm going to take a minute and talk a little bit about our company and our philosophy about the cruise, because that will help orient you as to the programming that we are provided. We've been in business since 2001, 25 years plus, 100 sailings. We began doing jazz cruises, and that is primarily what our business is, but we've done cruises of all kinds: country music, NASCAR, the 80s, Star Trek, lots of different themes. Recently, in the past 4 years, we have concentrated on our music cruises. We have 8 of them, and they are various jazz cruises. We have a Chris Bodie cruise. We have a country music cruise, top shelf, and a David Foster, which is sort of an adult contemporary cruise program. David Foster was a guest on 2 of our Chris Bodie sailings, and during the course of those sailings, he became very interested in how the cruise program worked, and we talked, and in a very short period of time, we decided that we should do a David Foster cruise. Certainly, he has a background that is rich in vocals and rich in music. He knows almost everybody in the industry, and he's able to put together an eclectic yet really top-notch lineup. Our offices are in St. Louis, though we have people operating out of Michigan, Florida, and other places. We currently book celebrity cruise lines for almost all of our cruise programs, and Celebrity Summit, which is the ship that we're using for a David Foster, the Hitman cruise, is our favorite ship. It's our favorite ship because of its size, 2,000 passengers, and it is a very luxurious. It went through a revolution process a few years ago, where every single stateroom was removed and a new stateroom was inserted, but they kept the public venues perfect. Sometimes on a cruise ship, when they do modifications, they eat into the public venues to have income producing events there. But they didn't do that with this ship. So we have some tremendous music venues for the cruise. We have a 1,000-seat main theater. It's tiered, hardly any poles at all. It easily fits half of our guests, which is why we work on a main show basis. Every night there will be 2 main shows, one for guests with a red cruise identification cards and one for guests with blue cruise identification cards. This designation was made at the time of your reservation and was done so that we can balance perfectly the number of people at each of the first two main shows. All of the rest of the shows are first come, first served, and they are all over the ship. The ship has a terrific venue on top called the Sky Lounge. Seats about 500. We have terrific jazz shows up there. It really feels like a jazz club, music club. Then there's the Rendezvous Lounge, which is a little more intimate. And we do a lot of piano shows there, interviews, and a smaller group presentations, and that does very well. And one of the really cool things about this ship when we first walked on it in 2017, the main dining room, we asked them, have you ever presented music here? And they said no. And we said, well, you will be doing it now. It turns into one of the great cabaret-style venues. We can also dress it up theater style, but in the afternoons and in the late evenings, that becomes one of the great places to produce music. And we also do a few things outside by the pool. Not as much by the pool as a traditional cruise would do because of the quality of our performers. They require and they deserve top-notch sound, top-notch lighting, and we provide that. We have a huge crew that comes on and works our cruises to make sure that your sound is perfect. It's amazing. A few days before the cruise, we actually have people come in who attach speakers to the ceiling of the main theater so that we can have perfect sound, and we pride ourselves on that. So that's some of the basics of our cruise programming. We believe that it is our duty to provide you with the best cruise experience possible, which is why we do webinars like this so you can ask questions. Oh, by the way, you can ask questions in your real time by just
in the Q&A. If you
Q&A section, right? And if it is a question of general interest, we will answer it right here. If it is something specific, our folks will get back to you after the webinar. But we're here. We don't have a reservation system from abroad. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. All of our reservationists and our guest relations people are right here. They're right outside my office. And we pride ourselves on face-to-face talking, making sure that you have everything that you need to have the greatest experience possible. We understand that when somebody decides to go on one of our cruises, that it is a tremendous commitment in terms of resources, financial resources, time resources, and therefore it's our duty and our honor to be able to bring you on to a really fantastic cruise experience. We are sailing on the Celebrity Summit. The sailing dates are Thursday, January 15th through Tuesday, January 20th. We will be leaving from Fort Lauderdale, and we will be calling on Key West and also Nassau during this cruise. You can see from the slide the itinerary. By the way, all of this is on the website, so you can refer to that later. The entertainment that we are presenting is amazing. Obviously, David Foster, he's a legend. When you think of the great producers of music now or forever David Foster's name is at the very top of the list. He's a very talented guy. He was a performer. I have watched his shows. He's a very good piano player, vocalist, but what he really is, he has an ear for music that is amazing. The way that he arranges things, it is fantastic. And he is one of these guys who he's not only talked the talk, he has clearly walked it, and he really knows what he's doing. And it's an honor to present his cruise. It's also kind of a little scary when someone who is that famous as a producer asks us to produce his cruise. It makes us a little bit nervous, but that's why we've been working so hard to make this cruise terrific. The cruise stars Babyface, who's a terrific entertainer and a very close personal friend of David Foster, and one of my all-time favorite artists, vocalist, Michael McDonald. Michael has sailed with us numerous times. I've watched a lot of vocalists age, and his voice is better than it was. He himself will say that what he's lost in his range, which is minor, he makes up for in the timbre of his sound and the depth and the soul. I mean, he's amazing. He's just absolutely amazing. We did a cruise with him a little bit more than a year ago, and Take 6 was on the cruise, and they were so excited that they offered to sing backup to him. It was so cool. Michael McDonald back up by a Take 6. That was amazing. The rest of our performers, Peter Sincotti, terrific piano player, vocalist, Shoshana Bean, who's taking the place of Catherine McPhee. Catherine was offered a movie, and one of the things that we try to do is to support the arts, support the artists, and this was something that meant a lot to her. So we found Shoshana Bean, who, if you will look her up, has an amazing resume, and I've been talking to people in the industry, and they tell me that she's just one of the great talents around. Take 6, who I just mentioned, as far as I'm concerned, Take 6 can be on any cruise that I do. I don't care what the subject matter is, they fit. They are 6 of the nicest guys ever, and they're rare in that they're almost the exact same group that began. That doesn't happen very often. Pia Toscano, who is very much within the David Foster circle, former American Idol. I think she came in 6th place, and she was supposed to win, and something happened, and Tom Hanks wrote the show that something was wrong. I mean, she is absolutely terrific, as is Daniel Emmett, Morgan James, and Brenna Whitaker. We've got some really terrific vocalists. For those who are unfamiliar with Morgan James, she's been on our cruises before. I've seen her live. She just puts on a terrific show. Brilliant singers. Instrumentalists, J.R. Robinson Band. For those who don't know J.R., J.R. is a drummer, and he is the most recorded drummer ever, and great talent. And he's been working with David Foster forever. Nathan East, one of the great bass players around. We have the Emmett Cohen Trio. Emmett is the host of the Jazz Cruise, which is our straight-ahead jazz cruise. He's an amazing artist. We have David Foster's band, then we have the SCE, that's a signature cruise experiences all-stars. These are 4 guys who've sailed with us 20 times at least, and they're part of our smooth jazz group: Arlington Jones, Kevin Turner, Nate Phillips, and Jay Williams. They'll be backing up a bunch of people. Our programming director is Eric Marienthal, who also performs, and our entertainment director is Mario Vines, who will be hosting lots of events. Very talented guy from your Washington, D.C. For the entertainment venues, we break down all of the events into 3 categories. When you see an event listed as in concert, that means that it is a music event. Music will be performed during that event. Learn is a event that might have a little bit of music, but it is mainly talk, education. It could be an interview. It could be a master class. It could be a cooking demonstration. It could be all kinds of things like that. And enjoy are just the fun events. Parties by the pool, wine tastings, all kinds of different things. You all are now, as a book guest, you receive Jazz Notes, which is our midweek jazz blog, and you also receive the Weekender, which is every Saturday morning. Believe it or not, over 40,000 people read each of those every single week. This week's edition of Jazz Notes, which will go out Wednesday, will talk about all of the non-music events that we have on the Foster Cruise. And that is primarily for those who've never sailed with us before, to know that this is not just a series of concerts. It's a cruise. We entertain you from the time that you wake up until the time that you go to bed, from the time that you board the ship until the time that you disembark 5 days later. I've explained the entertainment format, blue and red, main shows. There are 2 main shows every night. First one is for the guests with a blue cruise identification cards, and it begins around 5:30, 5:45. It all depends upon whether we were at sea or in port. And then the second show begins around 8:30. Most guests who have a blue card go to the first show, and then they dine afterwards. And most guests with a red card go to the eat first, and then they go to the second show. Seating is great. Doors open approximately 45 minutes before the show, and you go in, take your seat, and we've got some rules, regulations, and some suggestions regarding the seating procedure. You will receive those as part of your get ready letter sequence. You've already begun that. One of the things that we believe in dramatically is we want our guests to know everything about the cruise. The more that they know, the less that they have to learn on the ship, the more time they have to enjoy themselves. We want every guest to walk on that ship fully informed about all the aspects of the cruise. The rest of the shows are performed festival style, which means you come, you go. There are no tickets required. First come, first serve. You can walk into one, and if you don't like it, you can leave and go to a different show. We have late night jams, and we have special shows. We try to have the evening end in the main dining room, meaning the venue in the main dining room. It is a terrific place to have a drink, sit at a table, listen to music. We have food there. It really is very, very cool. The next section is our venues. I've gone through those, but I can do them real quick. The theater, which is the main theater, seats half of our guests. Sky Lounge, which is on the deck 11, right above the theater. The Rendezvous Lounge, deck 4 midship. It's a port to a starboard lounge with a stage, bar in the back. When you walk on deck 4 from the dining room to the main theater, or the main theater to the dining room, you go right through the Rendezvous Lounge. By the pool, we construct a full stage, and we have things in the afternoon there and in the evening. It's a lot of fun. And then the Cosmopolitan Restaurant, which I've been discussing, that's our late night, a cabaret style venue. Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat here today. It's been cold and snowy in St. Louis, which is very unusual for this time of the year. But it also makes me want to get on the ship faster. Okay, I have a bunch of non-music questions. What is the attire? We believe that the most important element of your attire is to be comfortable. It's not a fashion show. We really don't get dressed up. One night is we call it a formal night or a to the nines night, and it's really dressed as if you were going out for dinner and a show. It is not very few ties, very few suits. Women do not wear cocktail dresses. It's just sort of upper scale sport clothes, okay? I can tell the men what to wear. Women, I wouldn't even start down that road. Nightly main show seating, blue and red, we talked about that. You are allowed to queue up from the main shows. Seating is first come, first served. There really are no bad seats, but some people like to sit in the first row. Some people like to sit in the side. Some people like to sit up in the balcony, center, right. So if, in fact, you do have a preference, lining up gives you that option. Doors begin about 45 minutes before the show time. We have a safe policy, which you can submit your admission for this policy, and it is called SAFE because it's seating assistance for entry. This is for folks who need assistance getting into the main theater, and we have special seating areas if you are confined, or if you just wish to be seated in a particular area, that works as well. We do have some reserved seating. Folks that booked when we had reserved seating for this particular show, you will be contacted within 2 weeks before the cruise as to your reserved seat. A reserved seat is only for the main shows, and it is only reserved until the show begins. If you're not in your reserved seat by the time the show starts, it's open to anybody else. Saving seats, one of the rules is you can save one seat again until the show begins. So if you're a couple and the husband goes down early, stands in line while the wife goes to the blackjack table and drinks and has a great time, then he can save her seat until the show begins. I realize that was undoubtedly sexist, but it's also incredibly accurate. That way, only one person has to stand stand in line to secure your place for the show. All other shows are first come, first serve. Grazing, yes. Grazing means you can walk into a show, you don't like it, and then you can leave, go to a different show. We encourage that. Camping, no. Camping is when you decide, okay, up in the Sky Lounge this afternoon, there are 3 great shows in a row. I'm going to bring my sleeping bag and my pillow, and I'm going to stay there for the entire time, occupying a seat. That we don't allow. We like people to come and go. Photographs and recording. You cannot record any of the shows. That is part of our contract with our performers. You are free to take as many non-flash photographs as you wish. We do ask you, however, to when you're taking photographs, make sure that your taking of the photograph does not impair the sight line of people behind you. That can be a little tricky, and we do enforce that. Personally, I have never fully understood why somebody flies down to Florida, gets on our ship to watch really terrific performers, and then spend the entire time looking at it through the little eyeglass area of a phone. But you can take pictures. We have opportunities for that. The other aspect is we have professional photographers and videographers on the cruise. When the cruise is over, you will be able to download thousands of photographs taken by John Abbott and his team. John Abbott is a world-renowned music photographer. He's been working with us for a very, very long time, and he's absolutely terrific. Talking to the musicians, we encourage it, but what we ask is that you try not to interfere with their dining or their preparation to perform or immediately after they are performing. We ask every musician who is performing in a lounge when they're done to move to the side, because we have to clean the area and we have to get ready for the next show. But the musicians love talking to you. Feel free to ask them questions, but be respectful of their time and space. Merch. All of the artists bring, I shouldn't say all the artists, most of the artists bring a merchandise that you can purchase. You can get autographs. The ship has a great spa system, lots of shops. It is a great place for massages and all kinds of procedures, and it has a very nice gym. If you go to the gym on the first day, you will see that it's unbelievably crowded. If you go to the gym on the 4th day, you'll be the only one there. That's just how it works. Okay, non-music events. Autograph recordings, signings, sip and sign. We invite the artist to bring recordings for them to sign and sell, and they will set up usually at a Cafe El Baccio, which is on deck 5. That is where the coffees are, and it's a really good gathering place right in the middle of the ship. And they set up, and they will sign the recording that you purchased on the ship, and they will chat. It's really kind of nice. On this cruise, we have about 4 guys doing listening parties where they will play one of their recent recordings, and they will talk to you about them. And that's always cool. artist-hosted events. We have some wine tastings. We have all kinds of drink-related events where the artists participate. It is usually 20 to 30 to 40 people. So you have a great opportunity to interact with the performers. Most of the performers on this ship will be interviewed, and they will be interviewed by either other musicians or by our folks. It's a really great way to learn more about these guys, to know what makes them tick. We always have a Q&A with them. Game shows. Mario Vines, who's our entertainment director, puts together game shows that most of the time the artists participate in, or the guests, and it is a lot of fun. A couple of them, which we will tell you about later in our literature down the road, are really cool. A morning coffee talks every single morning. We have a coffee talk featuring either an artist or someone related to the cruise. It's very informal. You gather, have coffee, and just talk about things. Getting jazz artists or a music artist to be up that early in the morning can be challenging, but we always manage to pull that off. Party bridge, we have organized bridge when we're almost every day, and there'll be more information about that later. Mario's Dancing and Cocktails. Mario Vines, the entertainment director, in the evening in a rendezvous lounge, typically between the first and the second show, has a dancing classes, and that is led by the dancers that are on the ship, and every night is a different theme. And if you want to learn how to dance or pretend that you're learning how to dance, this would be a really, really cool thing to do. And it's so much fun to watch and to listen to. I'm fumbling with my pages. Okay. Before we go to onboard dining, I'm going to introduce you to Aubrey Pavlik, who is our guest coordinator, both on and off the ship. She basically runs the cruises with her husband, Brad, and she knows everything, and I'm going to let her go forward with most of the rest of the presentation, because the rest is very important and very technical, and they don't let me do that. Aubrey, you ready?
Thank you, Michael. Welcome, everybody. We are looking forward to welcoming you on board very soon. So as Michael mentioned, we are going to jump into a little bit about onboard dining right now. It is, generally speaking, split up into two different categories. One is included dining, which is included in the cost of your cruise. And then there's some specialty dining options, which are available for an upcharge fee on board. Generally speaking, Celebrity Cruises is very highly regarded in their food and beverage options, their service, and we highly recommend that you try a variety of these options that we're talking about here. So again, the included dining options that are included in your cruise price are the Ocean View Cafe, which is open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night. It's basically available to you continuously throughout the day. It's the main buffet on the ship, so it's located on deck 10, right next to the pool deck. Most guests choose to have breakfast and lunch there. almost every day. When Celebrity renovated the ship a few years ago, they completely redid the buffet, and it's really kind of now set up in smaller stations with a wide variety of offerings, different cuisines from around the world. So it's really nicely set up. They have a large variety, as I mentioned, and very high quality. Highly recommend that you check that out. The Cosmopolitan restaurant, which Michael talked a little bit about earlier, it's on deck 4 and 5, and that's the main dining room on board. It's available for breakfast and dinner every night, and then lunch on days at sea. Again, it's a really, really beautiful dining room, floor to ceiling windows. And as Michael mentioned, we do convert that space into a venue for the late night and sometime days at sea. During the day, we also have some concerts and interviews there too. Again, very high quality dishes, very good food, and a wide variety of options available for everyone. Blue versus red timing, Michael addressed this a little bit as well, but if you are a guest with a blue cruise identification card, you are going to go to the first show in the main theater, and then you're going to dine after that show. And then the red would be opposite. So you're going to actually go ahead and dine at dinner time first, and then you'll go to your main show after that. Um, if you have people that you are traveling with and would like to dine with them on each night basis, there's one of two ways that you can do this. You can just come right to the dining room and let them know and say, we have 4 people, we have 6 people, and you can just be seated right at that point. Or if you would like to dine with that same party every night and would like an assigned table, we can help set that up for you. And so you would just need to you would just need to email our office at info@secruises.com. And you can just let us know who would be in your dining group and what key card color that you are. And we can help set that up for you so that you would be able to dine at that same table each night with the same waiter. It'd be the same time. So you can kind of just walk in and go to that table for yourself. There are 2 other included dining options for you. The Spa Cafe, which is a little bit of a healthier food option, lighter fare. It's open each day for breakfast and lunch, salad, smoothies, other health forward options. And then the Pool Grill, which is basically the opposite of the Spa Cafe, also on deck 10, adjacent to the pool, but it's your burgers, hot dogs, fries, traditional grill items that you can grab and sit out by the pool, use al fresco dining. There are a number of specialty dining options, and you can make those reservations now, which I'll talk about in just a moment here. Tuscan Grill, which is an Italian fare with a modern twist. It's Italian steakhouse, really, kind of. Um, Lumine, which is a favorite of Signature Cruise Experiences. It's a really elegant restaurant. The menu's not super large, but they do have a little bit of everything for everyone on the menu. And the menus do change daily. So it's really fun to go and see what is available on that day. We highly recommend that you do dine at Lumine at least once. Sushi on 5, which is a sushi restaurant on deck 5. Very inventive with their naming of that one. Really, just if you like sushi, highly recommend you go there, try it out. A lot of guests do end up ordering some rolls to go, dine out on their veranda or an outside deck. If that is of interest to you, that is always available as well. We convert cuisine, which is up on deck 11. And typically, Celebrity runs a program there called Le Petit Chef. It hasn't been popular with our cruises in the past, so we actually take the opportunity to change the theme of that restaurant. And this year, we're going to make that BB Cuisine, which, as you can tell by the name, is going to be a barbecue restaurant. So we're really looking forward to seeing how that comes to life on this round of cruises. Last but not least, we have our signature cruise experiences, Chops House at Blue. So that is located in the Blue Restaurant on Deck 5. This is backed by popular demand. We created a really nice traditional steakhouse menu a few years back. All of our guests have really enjoyed it, so we've brought it back, working with Celebrity on that for the past few years. Definitely highly recommend if you are a steakhouse person that you check that out as well. Last but not least, there is room service that is available on board. I will let Michael talk a little bit on this and his take on it. It's available for a cost of $9.95 per order. So you can order as much as you'd like. And obviously it just comes to your room. But Michael has a particular take on it. I'd like him to share.
Yeah. Um, when when room service was free, I didn't voice my opinion because it really didn't matter much. But now that they charge for it, I know where your room is and I know where the kitchen is. And the odds of that food coming from the kitchen to your room in a manner that you're going to enjoy is pretty remote, particularly when you see folks carrying the food. It is on these roller kind of carts. Very good, thank you. Carts, and there's like 8 or 9 on every cart. It is faster and easier to go up to the Ocean View Cafe, grab your food, and come back to your room if, in fact, you want to eat breakfast in the morning by your veranda. There are many folks who believe that room service on a cruise is essential. That's part of the experience, and I respect that very much. I just don't think that it is a great dining experience. To me, room service should be reserved for folks who aren't feeling well, who cannot make it to the dining room, or anyone who's out very, very late with a hangover and needs a cheeseburger to make it through the night. Okay, so that's my take on a room service. Take it for what it's worth. Thank you.
We do have a couple of questions on dining that I'll just address here. Chef's Table by Daniel Ballou. That is still a part of specialty dining. Celebrity does not run that each and every night. So if you are interested in that, highly suggest that you go ahead and book that via PCP, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then you will get assigned to that on board. And then somebody else had asked if you needed to sit with other people or if there are tables for two. There are tables for two available in the main dining room. Part of the cruise experience, we hope that everyone does enjoy meeting other people on board. But if you wish to just dine by yourselves, when you go to the main dining room, you can just let them know that that is your request and they'll put you at a table for two. All right, Anne, I think we are ready to go to online check-in. So starting today, online check-in is available through Celebrity Cruises online check-in platform. Each guest does need to complete check-in before they get on board the cruise. We highly recommend the online process to save time on that during embarkation day. If you don't complete your check-in process prior to coming to the terminal, you may incur delays at the terminal. So again, we really suggest doing this as soon as possible. Again, it does start today. Tomorrow morning, you will receive an email from us with a reminder about what your Celebrity Cruises reservation number is, as well as some steps on how to complete the online check-in, which we're going to talk through most of it here. And then a recording of this webinar will actually be included in that email to you as well. So if there are questions that you need to go back and revisit, you're welcome to do that through the link. So how do you check in online? You go to celebritycruises.com/booked, that link right here. You're going to enter your username and password and then click sign in. So this is your Celebrity Cruises username and password. If you don't remember your Celebrity Cruises username and password, you can click forgot password. You'll be prompted to reset your credentials. If you've not cruised with Celebrity before, if you've not created an account with them before, you're going to go ahead and click create an account. And then it will take you through a couple of easy steps to set up an account at that point. You can go to the next slide here, Anne. Thank you. Um, Once you're logged in, you're going to see a screen that looks a lot like this screenshot right here. And it's going to say David Foster, the Hitman cruise. It will appear in your upcoming cruises. When you are ready to start your check-in, you're going to click that on the right-hand side, you'll see start check-in right there. So you're going to click through there and it will take you through a step-by-step process. We will walk through some of it right now as well. So the check-in process includes a number of steps. Again, it's pretty easy to complete. It will probably take you about 10 or 15 minutes per person, max. Some of the steps include your guest information, an emergency contact, just in case something happens, travel documentation, so your passport, you are going to want that information in hand and easily accessible when you're going through this check-in process. It will ask you for a security photo. You can upload or take a photo as you're going through the process online. Or if you want to bypass that step, you can just skip that and they will take a photo of you in the terminal when you arrive on embarkation day. One step in the process is setting up your onboard expense account. So that's, where you're going to make your charges to when you're on board. So you will need a credit card handy when you're going through this process as well. There is a small health acknowledgement portion of the online check-in. And then one very important last step is you're going to select your terminal arrival time. And that is the time that you will arrive to the terminal on embarkation day. They're available in half an hour increments. So you're just going to want to take into account your travel time to the port. If you're getting in the night prior, the day prior, into the Fort Lauderdale area, or if you're getting in that morning, you definitely want to build in a little bit of a buffer time, so that you are arriving, to the terminal within your selected time frame. And it really just helps with the flow in the terminal on embarkation day. Last but not least, once you've finished all of those steps, you're going to view and print your Celebrity Cruises Express Pass, which is your boarding pass for embarkation day. You may do this again in the Celebrity Cruises app as well, which we'll go through in a minute here. And those passes are available in your digital boarding passes will be available within your Celebrity Cruises app. So once you have completed all of that, starting in 15 days, so on December 16th, 30 days prior to embarkation, as long as you've completed your online check-in, you can go ahead and print your Celebrity Cruises luggage tags. It's a little bit of a weird lag time frame from when the luggage tags are available. From now until the 16th of December, but we highly do recommend printing out those luggage tags once they become available. They're personalized. They obviously assist with identifying your luggage. And really that's what all of the people on board who are helping get your luggage to your stateroom are looking for. So it's a really critical, important piece that you put those on your each piece of luggage that you hand over to the porters on embarkation day. We do recommend, if possible, purchasing a clear luggage reusable luggage tag. You'll see them to the right here. They're available on Amazon, and we do have a link that we'll also put in that get ready email for you. They just make it a little bit sturdier as they are just simply paper luggage tags. So sometimes they're easy to get pulled off. We just think that it's worth spending the couple extra bucks to purchase the reusable tags and making sure that your luggage tags stay on. We would hate for your luggage to get lost if it accidentally came off of it. And as I mentioned previously, there is a mobile app that you can also complete your check-in with Celebrity Cruises as well. So in order to do that, you can scan the QR code that we have on this slide here, and or just go into the App Store or the Google Play Store and search for Celebrity Cruises. Once you download that app, you're going to log in, and it's a very similar process as the online check-in portal is. You're going to click check-in and then go through all of those different steps. One reason that we prefer to tell people to do the online check-in is that the luggage tags actually aren't available if you complete your check-in in the mobile app. So again, we really think that the luggage tags are an important piece for you to be able to print. So we highly suggest that you do it online. Um, if you experience any technical difficulties with your online check-in, or you would need assistance with specific amenities and services, you can always contact Celebrity Cruises Help Desk. We have a number down here, 844-278-9746. Unfortunately, we do not have access to Celebrity Cruises online check-in or pre-cruise planner platform. So we can't always see the back end. We can try to assist you as best as possible, but we can't see exactly what you're talking about sometimes. So that's why we recommend calling Celebrity if you have specific questions on those two items. All right, so that is the online check-in process. Now we'll talk a little bit about the pre-cruise planner. You can access the pre-cruise planner through, again, your Celebrity Cruises account. So you go to that same link, celebritycruises.com/account, and then instead of clicking Start Check-in, you're going to click Plan My Cruise. Then you're going to enter the pre-cruise planner platform, and there's a navigation bar, which you can see down here. It talks about all the different types of services and amenities that you can purchase prior to even stepping on board the ship. We do highly recommend looking at the pre-cruise planner before you get on board. And if you're interested in making those purchases, making them prior to getting on board. There's a variety of reasons. Number one is so that you don't have to spend time once you're on board going around and making those different purchases that you're interested in. And the second reason would be that there's better pricing available when you do book it pre-cruise. All of your purchases that are made in that pre-cruise planner can be made, edited, or even canceled all the way up until 3 days prior to the cruise. So again, it's a really nice way to kind of peruse, do it in the comfort of your own home and not have to worry about it once you get on board the ship. Beverage and Wi-Fi packages. We've worked with Celebrity to get some discounted pricing. You're going to see the different prices here down below in these grids. We have a 25% discount that we've worked with Celebrity to offer our guests. So that applies to the premium, classic, and non-alcohol drink packages, and then also the 1-device and 2-device Wi-Fi packages. Those are
Okay.
really go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Albert.
We're at the 60-minute mark. We're going to stop here. We're going to have another session as we get closer to the cruise to do embarkation day and our takeaways and some other aspects of this. You'll be getting a notice.
Yeah, so we can go into extensive information about embarkation
You know,
itself.
and we will be answering all of your questions by email right after this.
Mhm.
And is there any question that is pervasive that we can answer now?
In the couple minutes that we have, we had just asked for an explanation of what a charter cruise is versus a cruise with Celebrity. I think Aubrey covered that pretty extensively. And we have a lot of specific questions about packages and purchases through Celebrity.
But if not, a charter cruise, we charter the whole ship. Okay, every passenger on that ship is there for our cruise, and that enables us to be able to control the public areas, the music, all the events. We can change dining times. We can do whatever. It is the only way that we would ever do a program, because otherwise it is just very confusing to our guests and to the other guests. You're on their cruise, they're on yours. When my mother started this 25 years ago, that was her goal, was to be the first person in the world to do a full ship charter with this kind of music, and she achieved it.
So we will have information in the Get Ready email you'll get tomorrow morning, which will have registration for an Embarkation Day focused follow-up webinar. And again, as we said, we will follow up with your questions via email that you've submitted through the Q&A. We will be following up in the next 24 hours.
Thank you all very much. And again, email us, call us with any questions that you may have. We are here to help you. Thank you. Be safe. Have a good day and have a good week. Thank you.